All right, so Mask of the Rose, set in the Fallen London setting. If you weren't around when I played Sunless Skies earlier in the year. So Fallen London is a bit of an alt history. It's a little bit horror more on the weird sense than horror as in like Lovecraftian, if that makes sense. Like it can be a little spooky, a little eerie, but it's not like, you know, death. I don't know. I would say it's a very mildy, you know, creepy horror than anything like super spoopy. Excuse me. It's a fairly interesting setting. I think it originally started. Yeah, that's the thing in the bottom right corner. Basically, it started as one of those browser RPG games, and they've kind of made a couple games since then. But yeah, this is the latest game. I think this came out pretty recently. So as always, we check the settings first. We got for audio. How's the audio? The audio good? It seems like it's pretty decent. It's not too bad. So we got options between a blocky text and one with a little bit more stylization. I think we can keep the stylization. I think large is nice. Cursive. I'm glad they give us an option to disable cursive fonts. Like, not to not cursive, you know, it's nice sometimes to see like calligraphy and things fancy. But I only got like a limited capacity in being able to understand cursive, and it sometimes takes me a while to decipher it. So I'm actually gonna disable cursive. And okay. I think that's good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and start. Your first foray into Mask of the Rose is unlikely to end as happily as you might hope. Never mind. Savor your successes, delight in your disasters. Try again, wiser in the ways of the Neath. The city is thick with secrets, but they can't hide from you. Ooh. All right, we got multiple varying degrees of endings. In February 1862, with no warning at all, London fell through the surface of the earth. Oh, loving this music already. This was meant to be a year of progress in industry. The Great Exposition. Trams, a new sewer system. Instead, we find ourselves dwelling in a cave. It's October now. The fires have been put out. The bodies have been buried. But the future remains unimaginable. The time before, impossibly distant. Who were we? Okay, so we could be a dockworker's child. Child of the gentry, a tailor, a housebreaker's child. Ooh, okay, so we have unlockables. An undertaker, an arcane academic. Okay, so we're limited to our first time playthrough. Interesting. So I know Sunless Skies is very big on lineages, so I wonder if Mask of the Rose is going to be similar. I think between Dockworker, Child of the Gentry, and Tailor, I kind of like Tailor. I kind of like that. That'd be kind of neat. The family kept a tailoring shop with aspirations. We dressed our customers better than we dressed ourselves. We have contacts with the society. Their own origins are more humble. You also may have some contacts among the artistically inclined. Ooh. The docks are allied with the working class and criminals. Yeah, we're definitely not gonna be a gentry person. We're gonna go with Taylor. Down here, your name is whatever you say it is. Often there's no one left to remember who you used to be. Some people hold tight to the names they carried before. Some reinvent themselves completely. Ooh, I prefer strangers to address me as Reverend, Tent, Monsieur. All right, that's Madame, Mademoiselle, Miss, Madame, Sir, my Lord, my Lady, Citizen, Comrade, Captain, Lieutenant, Doctor, Professor, Ossifer, Secretary, Brother, Sister. Okay. So Monsieur is nice, but it gives me Comrade. I gotta go with Comrade. Though my friends call me Kiddo, Alaya, Jaya, Tina, Sulfita, Gabriel. Okay, so this is like actual names. Let's go with Dreki. That's me. Dreki to my friends. Comrade to strangers. That's how I was addressed even before I fell. I'm a different person down here than I was above. Down here, finally able to use the name that always fit me. One thing I've always liked about Fallen London is I think they do a really interesting job of making their games inclusive for their role-playing experience. I think I'm a different person down here than I was above. Ooh, all right. We got a silhouette. Ooh, I like the earring on this one. I love how these silhouettes have little... You know, there's just two colors and shapes. You know, we have this white and the dark, and there's just general outline. And yet they still manage to make them so different. I kind of like this one because this little moon earring I think is really cool. I'm intrigued at what this oh, they have like a card behind their ear. Okay. This little swish of hair is kind of cool. This person though, ooh, they got like a tie and then they have like a little, like maybe a boa or something on their shoulders that looks like they have like wings. That's pretty cool. This person looks like they kind of have like a mohawk. Not like I don't know fucking hairstyles, but it's not a pompadour, because I think pompadour it's sticking out the front big time, but like, you know, like not like one of those hairstyles that's more down the center line and like an undercut on the sides, you know? Ooh, okay, so I like this, that. You know what? I'm gonna go with this one because I like the little pauldron thing this one has, and none of the others really have too much going on like that. Yeah, we're gonna go with this. In the Neath, a true ally means everything. When I find people to be close to, I am open to friendship, but no romantic emotions or physical intimacy. Friendship with physical intimacy, but no romantic emotions. Friendship and romantic emotions, but no physical intimacy. Whatever comes my way. Interesting. I wonder how this plays into the options of the game. Let's go with whatever comes my way. We'll leave the book open to see what the game has as a full stack. But I feel like I might end up playing a little bit more on the friendship or romantic emotions. I'll be looking for both romantic feelings and a physical connection. Friendship and matchmaking are possible too, of course. Comrade Dreki. It was a tailor in the past. My heart's desire, passionate romance. Hey, Danny Donkey, welcome on by. Right now, I'm meant to be helping with the census, finding out who still lives in my neighborhood. The first census results are due tomorrow. If I turn them in, I get paid. The first money to come my way in nearly 2 months. If I don't, I'm gonna disappoint Grizz badly. She knew I was in trouble, so she went out of her way to find me work with her own employers. She even gave me a badge to show my affiliation. Badge of the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting. Front of the badge almost looks like a constable's badge with the lion and unicorn emblazoned on it. The back of the badge has some kind of symbol I don't recognize. Hot to the touch. I keep it with the clothes I have from before the fall, and a few odd items I found more recently. Change my outfit? Ooh. Hatless? No! I need a hat. No! Don't give me a hat! Aw, I don't have options. I need to find a hat, chat. I need to find a hat! Ooh, fake but vibrant corsage. Most obvious thing about this flower is that it is extremely fake. Perfect for going out on the town, boasting and gallivanting. Okay, we already read that. What I'm already wearing will do. Tailor's apron. Ooh. The apron speaks to a shopkeeper's life. Helpful, cooperative, with a gift for invention and a true appreciation of craft. Hi, welcome to the Ziggurat, Danny. I hope you enjoy your time here. Apron makes it look like I should be behind a counter. Ooh, I wonder if what we wear might affect the game as well. Ooh. I wonder if we need to perhaps switch out what we're wearing depending on what we're going to be doing. That would be interesting. Welcome to your attic. Here you may explore the city, recall the past, change your outfit or more as the story unfolds. I see. It looks like we have currency, some kind of bureaucracy. We have time, of course. It's a visual novel of some flavor. We can pause. We have our journal. 259 days since the fall. Ooh. Ooh, this is set very close to the beginning of the Fallen London. Season of Confessions. Ooh. Interesting. Acquaintances. All right, we know an Archie. Archibald Reed. Fellow lodger. We survived the fall together. That's a sort of bond. I've known Archie since shortly before the fall. Okay, so we got Grits. Moved into Chapman's a short time before the fall. Wore gowns back then. Arjit. Singh. The constable. Wanted to ask whenever I get lost. Or think I might be going to get lost. Day 0 mid-apocalypse. First remember Harshit from the night of the fall when he was patrolling the neighborhood. We have a Horatia. Oh no, my landlord! Mother of gods. Gave me a good room and a stern speech about conduct in her house. We lived through the night of the fall in Horatia's basement. She's looked after all her lodgers since. Interesting. Well, nothing to do but head outside. Oh, we can go to the boarding house. Host a visitor before bed. Who shall we see? Oh, okay, so Grit. This is Grits. So they're the main person on the front of the game's cover. Always a fan of a waistcoat. Love me some waistcoats. Ah, I thought you were up here. Are you planning on doing any census taking? I react to that the way I react to many things these days. Turn it into a joke. Dare to name the frightening things out there. I lie. Turn it into a joke. Thought I'd wait for a change in the weather. A lovely snow, perhaps? There's no sunshine down here. There's no yellow pea soup fogs. There's no rain, except occasionally a fine mist. Londoners lost half our topics of conversation when we fell. Come tomorrow evening, need to have at least a few census forms filled out. Or I'm going to be the one explaining to Mr. Pages. And if that happens, I'm not going to help you with your employment prospects again. Grizz works for the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting. Seems to agree with her. She wears trousers to work and comes home at all hours. Very important to her, being taken seriously by these employers. Next thing I do is characteristic too. We're gonna build some trust. I'm sorry. To be frank, I didn't like the look of the city today. Too many dark alleys. Well, I'll see what we have something to turn in. You still have some time tomorrow. She gives me a hard look, though she could stuff some integrity into a person just by glaring hard enough. What do you think of the questions? They're written in the most peculiar spiked handwriting, and there are punctures in the paper in random spots. Teaser. Defend my reading ability or distract her with flattery. Well, she's a landlord, so I don't want to get too chummy. You're saying you don't think I can read? This is not the usual writing. Here, try the questions on me. Say you've just knocked on the door and I've come to answer it. Yes, what do you want? Gritz clearly wants to treat this as a realistic practice for future work. Badge identifies me as a census taker on an official representative of the ministry. Supposedly, it makes people more likely to answer my questions. Introduce myself as an agent of the ministry, showing my badge. Good evening. On behalf of the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting, I have a few questions. Oh, how lovely. I am so grateful these ministries are looking after us. Sarcastically accept. Yes, that is just what people will say. You ought to be on the stage. If I had ever considered such a thing, my mother would have beaten the consideration right out again. Not at all the done thing in our circles. Well, go on. What's the first question? How many people live in this establishmentation? Establishmentation. Okay, that's... Alright, we're getting some interesting words here. Is that a word? Establishmentation? My superiors are enthusiastic embellishers of the language. If you like, you can, translate into questions that are more likely to be understood. Right. How many people live in this establishment? 4. The landlady, Miss Horatia Chapman, a young man named Archibald Reed, myself, and a 4th character. Very disreputable. Alright, let's build some trust. Not a secretive person, Grits. If I seem disreputable, you only have to ask about it. Yes, maybe. But then you might expect me to answer any of your questions. Sometimes I'm in the mood to keep chatting, and sometimes I want to get to the point. Into the site. No! I can't believe you've done this to me, Bird. First London falls down, now I fall into the void. When will the falling stop? Damn. I hope you're all having a good day. Alright, let's linger on the senses. Is anyone in this establishment enamorificated or impassionated? What does this even mean? You're asking if anyone here is in love. Just ask that. Is anyone here in love? No. Ask whether she's sure about me. What? You know the hidden secrets of my heart? Very well. Write down whatever romantic confessions you like. I'll look in the other direction. Preserve your privacy. At this moment, a second visitor walks in. Archie is a medical student. He hadn't finished his training before the fall, but he has plenty of work now. Right after the fall, it was broken bones and cuts. Lately, there are fewer wounds and more diseases. Hey, I wondered where you were. Ask what Archie needs. What are you looking for? There's something that needs explaining. Out I went this morning to visit a patient. And what do I find pasted up on the wall? He holds up a broadsheet. There's a new decree from the Ministry of Cartography and Chirography? What's chirography? Chirography. That's choreography. I want chirography. Handwriting. Okay, interesting. That makes sense. So it seems like a lot of these ministries are dual purpose. Interesting names. By solving a murder again. Yes, Lucy. And it seems like romance may also be possible. I hope you're all having a good day. We're just getting started. All the maps and atlases Tabi is surrendered or put to the fire. It's your folk making these rules, Grits. We can be trusted. You can tell us. We're trustworthy. I'm even working for the ministry. You have yet to actually do anything for the ministry. I have the badge. I've been trained. You be asking your Mr. Pages about these maps? The Ministry of Chirography and Cartography is new. I don't think that existed yesterday. Very well. I'll see what I can find about this, but it might take some time. Dreki, please do collect at least a few census forms by tomorrow from whatever Londoners you are able to find. At the end of the day, I'll find you, and we can take them to Mr. Page's together. New goal! Deliver a filled census form to Pages. Do you know what I miss the most? Back home, the sister's hair turned color when it rained. Blonde to a wet plastered brown. Like a mad hen she looked. How are you holding up, Archie? Worse than grits. I willing to lie. Seems there's no road out of here. Food from the masters is a wee reprieve. When you think all else that might kill us below. Scurvy and the like. Great Hulk and rock fell on the house in Southwark. Did the roof in and near to killed the whole household. I'd best be quiet. Likely to give you a nightmare too. I'm fair out lauding them to help with the sleep. So hey, Archie, buddy, pal, I got this census thing here. I mean, help scratch my back. I scratch your back, maybe. Maybe I have some laudanum. I don't think I do. I was a tailor, not a pharmacist. Grits has me gathering census pages for the ministry. Hey, Grits told me it was some such thing. I heard all sorts of stories, so I doubt you will shock me. Indeed. You don't look like your heart is gladdened by true love, but I might have missed the signs. Are you engaged? Promised? Down here? There's no one. What about before Judgment Day? There was a lass back home. What did me mother do but promise me to her? That sounds like a tale. What happened? Eh, it's not so uncommon, I think. My mother was friends with this lass's parents. They were getting on in years, and her not married, and of course the whole village knew her business. So me mother said she'd fix it up between us next time I were home, but I've not been back since. Seemed to me ought to wait till I was finished with my studies. I'd have a better look to it. Question has stirred recollections he's not considered for a time. Ooh, we got a census note. Interesting. Did Patty say I've not much thought of her sense? She has very even teeth. Mother used to said, overlapping teeth in a woman mean defiance, and gaps mean a light skirt. You know, I've heard of astrology. I've heard of, like, blood typing, you know, someone. Never heard of, like, telling a person's personality by their teeth structure. Interesting choice. A bit silly. There's stranger theories I heard in the medical lecture hall. Plenty of constables who thought we'd catch the criminals that road. What does show some doubt gonna do? I've heard some curious things about medical students from Scotland. You couldn't be paying your bills with a bit of resurrection, would you? Nay, that was Edinburgh. And it's long past any road. These criminals need to be dissecting now. You don't perform any less legal services? Procure any substances that aren't supposed to be procured? Got a little bit of a puff pass, you know? I did sell a couple of my old atlases just today. Censored maps sell for a good price, if you know the right buyer. Ferret's vermin eradication takes in more than just rats. If I had met the like of you in Scotland, I might never have come to London. Huh. Alright, well they keep things pretty explicit. I mean, you're kind of a cool guy, Archie, but I think we'll just kind of be best buds, you know? The thought hits me, but I don't show it. Ooh, it blurs out? Keep track of everything in my journal. Conversations I've had, the plans I've made, how I'm feeling about other people. Okay. Uh-oh. 13 days remain in the season. Okay. 13? Any tridescaphobiacs? I don't think I said that right. Fear of the number 13. The newspapers aren't what they used to be, but someone is still printing broadsheets these days. Archie bought one. The headlines read, Ferret's menace eradication seeks reliable employees, unafraid of rats. Okay. I'm not afraid of a ratto. I mean, they're quite delicious. Relive the fall of London. This will not cause time to pass. Ooh. Ooh. Oh shit. What is that? I'm always reliving London's last night on the surface. Try to put it out of my head, but it's still there. The dimming of the sun at 3 in the afternoon. The sky turning the color of rust. Horrible bang and cloud of dust from the direction of Westminster. The tolling of the bells. The horseman who rode down the street, liveried in the garb of the palace, shouting, "Durengar, Durengar! You're going to the void! Step away!" In Her Majesty's name, go indoors! And then the sky was full of bats. More bats than I thought could exist in the world. Wheeling, shrieking, defecating. People went indoors then, if they ignored the criers. Those that had no house crowded into the churches and under the bridges. Even now, I don't understand. How did Her Majesty know to send criers? The palace has been shuttered since that day. The royal family do not emerge. Surely if they had known this was coming, they would have departed London. It was only the city that fell. The rest of England, we assume, remains above. I reckon it's a tornado. I heard, something similar in the Welsh Wales back in 1760. Nae light in the sky, and a noise like a thunderclap. That's no tornado, love. That's a plague of Egypt. Intervene before they annoyed one another. The newspapers will tell us in the morning what it was. Leastwise, it'll make a good story for the letters home. Gasglow will be envious of our London fashions. Then the ground shook again. I believe we can blame Mr. Bazalgette's excavations, digging about under London, causing a seismic disturbance. And what did he find down there but the cave of 3 billion bats? Is that what you reckon? There's stranger things beneath London. That was the beginning of it. We were down there for hours and hours. The sky darkened, and it didn't return to normal. Once, around midnight, Grits went upstairs and opened the door to the street, but she came back down again. She said the cobbles were galloping about. It wasn't safe to walk outside. After that first bit, memories collide and get confused. I have trouble keeping track of which came first and what came later and whether I'm imagining something. Spend a lot of days like this, thinking back, trying to piece together bits of the puzzle. As if I could realize something that would make sense of it all. All right, well, we do need to go out and about for stuff, so we're gonna have to leave our thing on. We still need a hat, and we don't have a face. Now, this is really awkward running around without a face. I feel like it's easier to converse with people, or be a little bit more presentable, you know, a bit more personable when you actually have a face. Maybe we can find someone that we can just take their face. Maybe someone's not using their face, and we just borrow it, you know? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Let's head outside. Okay, we can go to the Thrall Street or the boarding house. I think we should go to the Thrall Street.